Hello, this is going to be a 190 Q&A test. Plaintiff attorney is Mr. Burgundy, Burgundy. Defense attorney is Mr. Zephyrin, Zephyrin. Again, plaintiff attorney Mr. Burgundy, Burgundy. Defense attorney is Mr. Zephyrin, Zephyrin. And this is going to start off with defense attorney. Ready? Did he ask her? Yes, he had asked her. And how do you know that? Because she related to him that she didn't have any alcohol and hadn't taken any medication. Excuse me, what page are you reading from on the report? This is on page 20, line 21 through 22. Thank you. Okay, why do you ask people if they had been taking any medication when you're in the course of investigating an accident? Medication, if certain medications are taken, they can impair a driver's ability to drive a vehicle. Have you seen, or in your experience and in your training, have you seen some medications that can impair, I'm not a pharmacist, I'm going to say, in sum and substance? Do not take this medication and drive or use heavy equipment. Have you ever seen medication kind of like that? Yes, I have. Did you, in the investigation of this accident, ever determine that Miss Effinger was taking any medication that was prefaced with the instruction? No, that calls for speculation, Your Honor. Sustained. Ask a new question. Well, you didn't learn of that because she told Officer Lewis that she wasn't taking any medication, correct? That is correct. Now, with regard to your personal knowledge, you don't have any personal knowledge as to whether she was taking any medication on the date of this accident, correct? That is correct. You are just relying on what she told Officer Lewis? Yes, that is right. And that's the same thing with regard to the cell phone use. You don't know whether she was on the cell phone at the time of this accident, correct? Your personal knowledge? That is correct. You're relying on what she told Officer Lewis, is that correct? Yes, and it's reflected here on page 2. It says cell phone not in use. You've already related to me that you would have given indication, and he asked her and she told him she was not on the phone. Is that correct? That calls for speculation. Overruled. You may answer. Correct. Do you know if at the time of this accident, if Miss Effinger was taking any pain medications? Your Honor, calls for speculation. Overruled. You may answer. I'm aware or unaware if she was or wasn't. In the statement that she gave to Officer Lewis, strike that. The statement attributed to party number 2, Tiffany Sanchez, this is not a statement that you took, correct? Correct. This is a statement that Officer Lewis took, correct? Yes, he took that statement. In the Texas Academy and in your post-academy training, you mentioned that you were trained to take a full and complete statement of the witnesses. Is that right? Yes, that is right. Particularly the operators of vehicles, correct? Yes, correct. Cell phone use is just about as standard a question as you'll find in today's world, correct? Yes, that is correct. Medications, whether a person is on medication, that's just about as standard a question as you'll find in today's world for accident investigation for you folks. Is that right? Yes, it's standard. And you expect people to be candid with you, don't you? Yes, I do. You can only go by what they say, right? Correct. That is argumentative, Your Honor. Sustained. Well, it's got on the bottom of page 9 where it starts the statement of Miss Effinger and it goes on to the page 20. Do you see that? Yes, I do. On those 2 pages, these would have been pages not prepared by you, correct? They were put into the report by me, so I physically typed this page, okay? And that's why my name is at the bottom. Okay, and did you type this page after or while you were sitting talking to Officer Lewis so you could be accurate? No. When did you type up this page? I can't give an exact date, but it was a few days after the collision occurred. Okay, and obviously you took some notes when you were talking to Officer Lewis. Is that correct? He provided me with his written notes. Oh, I see. So while Officer Lewis was talking to Miss Effinger, he was making notes? Correct, yes. And did you find them to be reasonably detailed so you could get the information off of them? Yes, they were detailed notes. That's the protocol of your department, is that right? Yes, absolutely. Have you yourself taken notes while you're talking to a witness? Yes, I always take notes. And you do that so when you prepare statements like this that we find at pages 19 and 20, so the statement is accurate, correct? Correct, yes. Having looked at the statement and worked with the statement, there's nothing about this statement that caused you to believe there's in any way something that you did that was not accurate? No, nothing. It's accurate? Yes, it is accurate. All right, if we look at the statement on page 20 of Miss Effinger on line 19, it says, line 20, it says, quote, she didn't have a cell phone. Do you see that? Yes, I do. You got that from the notes of Officer Lewis, is that correct? That is correct. You wouldn't make something like that up, would you? No, of course not. So when you left the scene of this accident, whatever time it was, and for however long it was that you were there when you left, you had in your mind, strike that. When you prepared the report of this accident, you had in your mind that Miss Effinger didn't even have a cell phone there at the scene of the accident, correct? Calls for speculation. Sustained. Rephrase your question. Once again, relying on what it said and what was it that she told Officer Lewis, correct? And his notes, correct. Okay, and once again, when you prepared this report, the traffic collision report, which we're going to mark for identification as exhibit number 2, the notice will be 1. Counsel, I was going to suggest that we continue on the numbering of the defense exhibits from the last time. I've got no problem with that. That's a good idea. Do you know where we were? We ended at 10, so the next one would be 11. Thank you for helping me out here, Your Honor. We'll make this traffic collision report number 12, and we'll make the notice of this statement as number 1. When I say notice, it's just a notice that I gave counsel. Do you mean 11, counsel? I'm sorry, 11. I need a lot of help, or I need some coffee. Now, when you left, strike that. And when you prepared the report for this accident, you had in your mind that Miss Effinger, quote, hadn't taken any medication, correct? Calls for speculation, Your Honor. Overruled, you may answer. I had no reason to believe that she was under any medication and was not under the effects of any medication, at least as of the time of this accident. Is that correct? Correct. That's based again on the statement she gave Officer Lewis. Is that correct? Yes. That's why you included it in your statement or in your report? Yes, exactly. And you had in your mind when you prepared this report that Miss Effinger, quote, had no medical problems, correct? Correct. Once again, that would be due to the statement that Officer Lewis took from Miss Effinger, so the notes of which you used to form your report, correct? That is correct. Up to today's date, have you found out that Miss Effinger was actually on the phone at the time of this accident? I'm unaware if she was or was not. Okay, and up to today's date, have you found out that Miss Effinger had been taking medication? No. Or had any medical problems? No, I had not. You were unaware of those things? Yes. Okay, let's go through if we can to clarify a few things about the report. Now, you mentioned that you prepared the report possibly a day or so after the happening of the accident. Is that right? I began writing the report the day of the accident, but I'm not sure what day I concluded the writing of the report. It's kind of a work in progress as your investigation goes on. Yes, correct. It's a step-by-step process. And would it be safe to say within a week or so of the accident, the report would be completed? With fatal collisions, there's a set of revisions that usually takes place. You can actually find the date that the collision was finally signed off and approved at the bottom right of the face page. Okay, with regard to the first page of the report, that would have been done very close to the happening of the accident. Correct, yes. Would you say the day of or the next day? Yes, usually the day of. Okay, and then I know that Miss Effinger was the driver of vehicle number 2. Do you know whether there was any restrictions at all on her license? No. Okay, we do have a word list. We've got Miss Effinger. capital MISS, space, capital EFFINGER. Officer Lewis, capital OFFICER, space, capital LEWIS. Tiffany Sanchez, capital TIFFANY, space, Sanchez, capital SANCHEZ. And Texas Academy, capital TEXAS, space, capital ACADEMY. And then when they refer to vehicle number 2, you're going to capitalize V on vehicle. Number is going to be capital NO period. And then you're going to use the number 2. All right, good luck. Have a great day.